I'm Mandy, and this is my journey to self-discovery. I'm 41, spent 20 years in corporate, the past 7 years as an entrepreneur, and have 4 businesses. I've spent my whole life highly driven by success and achievements. Now I'm putting it all on hold while I tackle my biggest life questions. Why am I here on this planet? What am I here to do? What's my life's purpose? What's in it for me? This is me without the mask, slowly shedding the old self in pursuit of my real self. So this week was absolutely incredible. So many things happened, but the biggest thing that happened this week was something that completely took me out of my comfort zone, completely living, in alignment with my purpose and just letting the universe just guide me, not knowing where in the world it's going to take me. And this week I visited a place called Jacob's Ladder, which is a men's drug rehabilitation center. It's actually a home that houses those who are recovering from addiction for a total of 6 months, and they have a chance to submerge themselves in nature and healing and being amongst a group, getting connected with food and gardening. And I actually learned about that place 2 years ago at a conference, and I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with it, and I felt like it resonated with me. And even 2 years ago, I had this idea that I wanted to reach out to them, but for some reason I didn't. And 3 weeks ago, I was staying overnight at a hotel, and there was a magazine there, and I was flipping through the magazine, and there was an article about them there. And it just struck me again, just man, how impressed I was with it. Again, it resonates so much with me. And I knew then that I wanted to somehow connect with them. And then about 2 weeks ago, after some meditation, I just was quieting my mind. Then I was getting back to normal day-to-day life, and I just had this very, very strong desire to reach out to them again. I have been thinking a lot about addiction and families going through addiction, those going through addiction, and I don't know, I've been feeling like I'm just kind of being called somehow in that direction, not having any experience in that at all with that, but just feeling deeply connected to it, and as if it's something that I wanted to just, I don't know, be around. Can I help? Can I be of service? What can I do? And so after that third sign from the universe, I randomly called him. I just called them and said, I know this is really strange. This is my background, which is not at all related to what, to this, but I would love to come, just see what you do, tour it, and just get a feel. I just wanted to just be there. And I told myself that I would just use my emotional guidance system, that if it resonated with me, then I knew that that was the right place, that might be the next step, and that might be the next where I can help. And so I did. And so I traveled there. Didn't tell anybody. I told one person, my husband. Traveled there and met with them, and it was absolutely the most incredible experience that I've ever had. I walked into the facility and felt this amazing just connection to the gentlemen there, all of them. I mean, I felt unconditional love for them, and they gave it back. I mean, I so connected at such a different level. I connected more with those men than I do most people that I interact with in the business world. I mean, they were so, they get it. They get the bigger picture. They're so connected to themselves, to their higher self. I remember just meeting one of the gentlemen there, and I cried. I mean, I cried. I wanted to talk with him. I wanted to just have such a conversation with him, but I couldn't stop. Like, I was just so teared up because I just felt this almost like soul connection with him at such a higher level, this amazing soul connection to him, like I'd known him my whole life. And I just felt this amazing amount of love, unconditional love. And it was great. And so I had a chance to tour, to meet all of them, to tour the amazing facility, to see their farm, to see what they do. We had a chance to go pick some of the things that were in their garden that they were growing as the season was starting to take a wrap. And so we picked butternut squash and we picked green tomatoes, and I went back and I cooked with them. And we talked about gardening. And it was interesting because when I asked them, what are they looking for? I mean, that was it. I mean, I was able to make fried green tomatoes for them, and they hadn't had them, and they loved them, and was able to roast butternut squash. And those were the types of things, I had no idea those were the types of things they were looking for most. Gardening help and food help, and how to go from farm to table. And that's what I do. That's our specialty. And I never thought that that would be, where I could be of help and assistance. But turns out that that's where it was. And it turned out to be a magical day as we cooked together and we talked. And I learned about them. They learned about me. And I really thought that, I was going because I wanted to find out, is there a way that I could be of service? Is there more, what could I do? Can I help families? Can I help children of those who are going through addiction recovery? And one of the guys told me, he said, how you can help us right now is by you being you. He said, because that's what we need. And it was one of the biggest, amazing lessons, because I've heard the council say this so many times before, that, sometimes our greatest gift is just to be, not to do, and to be ourselves, and to be living our purpose, and to use our gifts and talents where they might be needed. And so the whole time I went in thinking, well, what can I do? What can I do to help? When actually it was just being there in the moment, unconditional love, tuned into my purpose, loving them unconditionally. That was it. That's all that they needed, and that's what I needed. And it was just a really, really wonderful, wonderful moment, and a huge teaching moment. So that was there, and so after I left and absolutely cried the entire way home because of so much that I had learned there, and just how much I resonated with them, and how much I loved being there. It validated what I was feeling in my heart, and I have had this very big dream for I guess almost the dream goes back almost 10 years, but I have this very, very strong dream right now to create a retreat, to create an oasis, a place where individuals can come and they can just get aligned to themselves, they can get aligned to their purpose, a place where there is nothing but unconditional love, a place where they can raise their vibration, a place where they can just reconnect, and a place in nature. And so all of this is starting to really kind of come together now, but it also is showing me a lot. As this dream starts to come to fruition, what I'm realizing is this has been many years in the making, and the council talks a lot about this fact that this year, 2017, is the start of a new 9-year cycle. And if I look back at the last 9 years of that cycle, that was the start of this dream all happening. And my original dream, 9 years ago, before we launched Healthy Kids, was to create a place for kids and families to come that involved food and healthy foods, and transitioning to healthy foods, and just this high vibration place where you could be creative and just, learn new things. But it all were, centered around food. We ended up creating, kind of another phase of that. And it has served us so well, and I'm so incredibly grateful for all of that. The learning has just been tremendous. But that dream of having a place, a retreat, started many, many years ago. And now I look back at that 9-year cycle, and it was all about getting into food and transitioning and learning all about food and the body and gardening and consuming ourselves in that. And that's what all of our businesses have been about food and gardening and kids, and just trying to kind of raise your internal vibration, just change the way your body feels about food. And little did I know that all of that was really getting us ready for this new 9-year cycle. And that's why I feel like this year, especially, the progression, the acceleration has been so rapid. It has been so rapid. Things are coming together. I don't even know if they're coming together, but I just feel like my mind is so much clearer about, where I need to be, what I need to be doing, what I need to be focusing on. My learning is so much greater and bigger. It's happening so fast right now. And so, I think that I feel very confident in what's next, and where this goes. And again, I don't know how it will happen. No idea. but I know that I'm preparing myself to be ready as the universe works its magic. And if it is meant to be, it will be. And that's what I believe that the universe is working on right now. So it's really cool to see this new 9-year cycle starting to kind of open the door and show itself. I mean, the learning, again, just every day it's like a new resource, a new teaching that's kind of coming my way. Today it was about a retreat in Costa Rica. That is a place where you can go and just kind of have this like spiritual awakening process, and it just completely inspired me, and because pieces of that are what I'm looking to create. So those types of things and ideas and just inspiration continue to come to me often, and I can't wait to see where it all goes. So this is me just living then life to my purpose. I've completely solidified the purpose, what I feel like I'm here to do, and it is absolutely to radiate love. It is to radiate light and wisdom, and I truly believe it's also to help to raise the vibration of the planet. And sometimes that's just mostly that is just by being. But I also cannot wait to take that on a much, much larger scale, and to be able to really help and create a place where others can come and be a part of that experience and just start to find themselves. So that is where I'm at right now, and I can't wait to share with you what happens next week. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.